Hiya, I'm Simon Mole and I am a poet. But today, you are going to be writing a poem. It's going to be a poem about your voice, and all that you'll need to get started is some paper and a pen. So pause the video whilst you get that sorted and then press play when you're ready to begin. First up, you're just going to choose a word or two that you think describes your voice, or you'd like to connect to your voice in some way. I think my voice is quite deep, but also in the morning, sometimes it's a bit croaky or scratchy. And I'd like to think that my voice can be strong, so I'm going to pick that one too. In a minute, you will see a few words coming up on the screen. You can choose one from there, or you can think of one of your own. Pause the video whilst you note down a couple of ideas and then press play when you're ready to move on. Okay, are there any words or phrases that you like to say or say a lot in your day-to-day life? Words that make your voice yours. I always say, awesome, yes mate, aye aye aye. Maybe you say, oochie boochie boochie boo to your cat, or miss 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 to your teacher. Pause the video whilst you note down the phrases that make your voice yours, and then press play when you're ready to move on to the next prompt. Most of us use our voices very differently, depending who we're with or where we are. So for this one, I'd like you to think about when your voice is loudest. It might be when you're watching football or rugby with your mates, or maybe arguing with your sister or your brother. Sometimes when I'm in the car, I sing along as loud as I can with songs that I don't even know the words to. I've got the windows down, and one time I got spotted doing this by another car who was stopping the lights. It was quite an embarrassing moment, but it might be something interesting to use for a poem. Pause the video whilst you get a few ideas down and then hit play when you're ready to move on. Great stuff. A quick flip here. When is your voice quietest? That could be when you're whispering in assembly, or maybe you feel a bit shy when you meet new people for the first time. Sometimes I'm trying to get my little baby to go to sleep and I'm like, so I'm going to put that down. Pause the video whilst you get a few ideas about when your voice is quiet onto your page. And then hit play when you're ready to move on to the next prompt. Great stuff. You might have to think about this one a bit. I want to know, where did your voice begin its journey? I might say Brighton, because that's where I grew up. Or I could say in my head, in my dreams, in my belly, and the bottom of an ocean. So, pause the video as you note down a few ideas and then press play when you're ready to move on. We've thought about the beginning of your voice's journey, and now we're going to look ahead. Where would you like your voice to be heard in the future? I'd love to do a poem at a packed Wembley Stadium. You might imagine hearing your voice in a radio broadcast back to base from a spaceship, or caterwauling on the top of a cloud, or whispering in a time machine, shouting underwater, bellowing through a megaphone on a protest march. Pause the video to get a few thoughts down and then press play when you're ready to move on. One of my ideas for the last one was a protest march, and we can all use our voice to speak up against things that we want to change in the world. What do you wish was different? It could be a huge global issue like climate change or deforestation. It might just be that you want later bedtimes or less homework. Maybe it's something locally. You wish there was less dog poo in the park or more bike lanes. You could use your voice to speak out against racism, sexism, or homophobia. For this one, you could start every sentence with, my voice will speak out against, or my voice will speak up for. Pause the video whilst you get a few thoughts down and then press play when you're ready to move on. Everybody's voice is different, and so everybody's poem is going to be different too. For this one, we're going to be a little bit more open. It's almost like free writing, which is when you write about anything you want for a set amount of time. If you haven't already seen my video on how to free write, the link is in the description. For this one, I'd like you to start every sentence with the two words, my voice. Carry that on, keeping the hand and the pen moving until the idea finishes, when you just start writing my voice again. My voice is, my voice can, my voice will. You might find that a word starts out as a squiggle. When I'm grumpy, my voice is the hiss of a snake. You could think about what your voice can do. My voice can shatter glass. My voice will melt ice. We're going to keep it short, 1.5 minutes, 90 seconds, starting every sentence with the two words, my voice. Going to get the stopwatch out for this one, guys. On your marks, get set, free write. Whatever pops in your head, whatever you write is the right thing to write now. My voice will, my voice can. My voice doesn't know what to say, but it's still writing anyway. 30 seconds down already. Great work. And we're halfway there. You could think about something you wish you had said, but you didn't quite manage to get out. Something you have said you were proud of. Keep the hand and the pen moving the whole way through. My voice will. My voice always. And pencils down. Great stuff. In a moment, you're going to look back over all the answers, including your free write. I'd like you to find a few of your favourite bits of text, lines or sentences that you think really work, and then see if you can add a bit more descriptive detail to those. So I said that my voice began its journey at the bottom of the ocean, but maybe I could say it began at the bottom of the deepest ocean trench, 20,000 feet beneath the sea. Another thing you could try and add are some action words. I wanted to have my voice coming out of the megaphone on the protest march, but maybe I could say it was bursting out of the megaphone, or bouncing off the buildings and racing round the corner. You get the idea. So, pause the video to add some descriptive detail and some action words to a few of your favourite answers, and then press play when you're ready to move on. Okay, so you've done the hard work now. Well done. It's time to have a bit of fun with your answers. One way to turn what you've written into a poem is just to arrange some of your favourite bits of text in an order that you think is going to sound good. Remember that part of what makes poetry exciting for a reader is a chance to make our own connections. So you don't always need to write in full sentences. You don't need a clear beginning, middle and an end in the same way that you do with a story. You might want to start a few of your lines with my voice is or my voice can, in the same way that you did on the free write. But if you're inspired to approach this completely differently, that's great too. You might think that your anecdote about getting seen singing along in the car at the traffic lights is going to be the whole poem. Or maybe your poem ends up being a list of all the stuff that you and your friends say to each other over the course of a day. However your poem turns out, I'd love to read it. So please take a moment to whack it up in the comments when it's done. And if you'd like to check out how my poem turned out, the link is in the description. Thanks so much for watching. Cheers.